Sometimes we go on a pilgrimage. At some places we have to walk without your shoe. Govardhan Parikrama and so many parikramas, so many holy places, we walk without shoes. And sometimes there are thorns and sharp stones and things like that. Then if it pricks, what will we say naturally? We will say, the thorn pricked me. This is an example given by Acharyas. The thorn pricked me, which means the thorn came running in search of you and pricked you. Is it the thorn pricked you or I stamped the thorn? It is I stamped the thorn, but nobody will use that term. They will always say the thorn pricked me, as though the thorn came running. Put the blame on the thorn. Actually, I went and stamped the thorn. This is ego. Ego will never allow us to admit our mistakes. And sometimes we eat so much, we don't control, we keep eating. Eating and eating. Like Ayurveda says, if you eat food one time a day, you are a yogi. One meal a day, yogi. If you eat 2 meals a day, we are bogi. Bogi means enjoyer, a person who wants to live his life comfortably. And if we eat 3 meals a day, then we are rogi, a diseased man. And if we have 4 meals a day, he is drohi. He is eating other guys' food also. Rogi, bogi, yogi, bogi, rogi and drohi. So actually, sometimes we take so much of food and we put on. Then what happens? We tell others, my dress had become small. My shirt became small. My dress, put the blame on the dress. So this is ego, which will never allow us to accept our mistakes. A very genuine humility is required to go in front of others and say, yes, I did that mistake. I would like to correct myself. Simply it is humility. So right and wrong in this material world is always relative, and that is explained beautifully in Mahabharata through Akshaya Patra story. Draupadi got this special blessed Akshaya Patra which can supply unlimited food. It can supply unlimited food, and this is given from, she got it from Surya Dev. This is a special one. Every day morning after sunrise, it can produce any amount of food. Then after sunset, finally Draupadi finishes her meal and she washes the pot and keeps it upside down. Then you can't get anything out of that pot. Then you had to wait for the next day's sunrise. This is the blessings which she got through the Akshaya Patra, through this pot. So Pandavas were happy in the jungle. At least Bhima was very happy in the jungle. He could get whatever he wants to eat. And one day, the great sage Durvasa came. So, there is no one in this world who were not cursed by Durvasa. Only 2 people got blessings from Durvasa. One is Radharani and Kunti Maharani. Only 2 people got blessings. Everyone else got cursed from Durvasa. Durvasa is a very strange, complex personality. How much ever you try to please him, that will end up in a curse. You go in front of him, it will be a curse. You go behind him. Sometimes even in our houses, we have certain Durvasas. Very difficult to please them. How much ever we try, they will fight with you. So Durvasa is like that. So Durvasa is going to come. But Draupadi already finished her meal and she had put it upside down. But Yudhishthira didn't realize it. He said, oh, great sage, Durvasa is coming for lunch and we are very happy. And he's not only coming alone, he's coming with, thousands and thousands of his followers. It is a great blessings to feed saintly people. That is the only way we can please them. Give them a meal, give them some clothings. And they will be very happy and they will bless you. And we will start progressing spiritually. And it's a great blessing. Not only Durvasa is coming, he's coming with thousands of his followers. So he came back running and said, they're all going to come and, prepare a wonderful feast. And Draupadi said, Sarvanash. I have already taken my meal. And the pot is washed and kept upside down. Now not even a speck of grain will come out of the pot till tomorrow's sunrise. And Yudhishthira was very disturbed. What to do now? If they don't feed the sage will curse us. Not only us, he will curse the whole dynasty. What to do? So immediately Yudhishthira sent to Bhima and Arjuna inside the jungle to collect as much as fruits possible. Whatever is possible, bring it. And Draupadi was very tensed and disturbed, and she didn't know what to do. And as usual, she prayed to Krishna. And Krishna appeared. And Krishna screamed and said, Draupadi, I am very hungry, please feed me. And Draupadi said, don't pour oil in the fire, Krishna. I am already struggling. I don't know how to solve. And you are also asking for food. I don't have any. No, I am very hungry. Durvasa, forget about Durvasa, feed me first. But there is nothing for you to eat. Bring the pot. Then Draupadi brings the pot. And there is a small, tiny speck of prasad, whatever grain left. And Krishna takes it. Yasmin tushte jagat tushta. When Krishna had that, when Krishna was satisfied, the whole universe got satisfied. Now the question is, Draupadi did not wash the pot properly. Was it right or wrong? Draupadi did not wash the pot properly. If she would have washed it properly, that tiny amount of grain wouldn't be there in the pot. Right? So this is a Akshaya Patra given by Surya. It's a puja paraphernalia, puja item. You will have many puja things in your house. You will have a bell, you will have a lamp, you will have so many. We will keep it clean, we will keep it nicely, very respectfully. So now she has not washed this pot properly. So was it right or wrong? If you say it is right, it is wrong, then if she would have washed it properly, this one tiny particle of grain wouldn't be there. Then Krishna will not eat. Durvasa will come and curse the whole family. And if you say that she has not washed it properly, it is perfectly right, that is also wrong, because that is a respectable pot and she is supposed to keep it clean. See, this is what is the difference between right and wrong in this material world. Whatever is right for me today is wrong for somebody else. And whatever is right for them, it's wrong. Bhagavad Gita says, Ragadvesha vimuktaishtu vishaya nindriyaischaran atmavasher videya atma prasadam madhigacchati. We are miserably stuck between right and wrong. Raga and dvesha, likings and dislike. Attachment and hatred. I like blue color, I don't like black color. Why? There is no reason. Someone likes green color so much, somebody likes red color so much, and the green wala says green is the topmost color. But why? No reason. I want my life to be like this, and somebody says that is completely wrong. This is the difference between right and wrong. It is always relative. So we can never blame a devotee in our life. And if we find fault, somehow, unfortunately, it will turn into offense. That is why we should understand this truth. Everyone feels that he is right. They are convinced so. And they lead a life. So, we cannot blame them, because most of the time it is situation. It makes the people to think so. And it is relative. That is why we should not blame anybody under the sun. Nobody has got the right to blame any person in this creation. No one. And beautifully Mahabharata says, only Guru and Krishna. Guru and Yamaraj. Not even Krishna. Only Guru and Yamaraj. Only these two people in the whole creation has got right to find fault. No one else has got this thing. So one day, Mahabharata says, Krishna is playing dice with Rukmini. Both of them, nicely sitting in their palace, and Krishna is playing that game with Rukmini, and suddenly Krishna started speaking about the olden days, and Rukmini was moved. She was feeling so much of love. Krishna is telling, Rukmini, you remember the day that you wanted to marry me, and hundreds on hundreds of kings and princes, they all came, for that Swayamvara, and so many were there, and you went to that Ambika temple for worship. You remember all that? Krishna is discussing that after some 100 years or something like that. Then you were coming down the temple stairs, and I came there and I took you from there, and you remember all these things? Then Rukmini was moved when Krishna was speaking so affectionately about the past. How Krishna protected me, how Krishna accepted me. She was filled with tears, Shitala, that cool, when your heart is filled with love and joy, sometimes we experience the cool tears. Very cool, soothing tears. And Rukmini was enjoying, her eyes were filled. And suddenly Krishna turned the whole thing reverse. Krishna asked, Rukmini, was it right from your side to just run away with me? Can a Kulavati do this? Can a lady from such a royal family, can she do this? Cheating her parents and cheating her brothers. How could you run away with me, and you have never seen me in your life before that? Is it right as per scriptures? Initially, Krishna was speaking so affectionately. Suddenly, every single word of Krishna is like arrows poking Rukmini's heart. She was like, started shedding hot tears out of pain. Initially, she shed cool tears. Then she started shedding hot tears. And why my Lord is not stopping this conversation? Krishna is going on and on and on and purposely hurting Rukmini. Rukmini, what you did is wrong, this, that. And at that time, when this conversation was happening, Narada walked in. Then immediately Krishna said, oh great sage Narada, you come. You be the judge now. Now you tell me, what Rukmini did on that day, was it right or wrong? And Narada is in a fix now. What can he say? One side Krishna is there, another side Rukmini Devi is crying and standing. The gods, his personal deities are standing in the front. And Rukmini is shedding tears, and Krishna is not stopping. Lord is purposely hurting her. Then Narada spoke this greatest shloka, which all devotees should realize. No one in this creation has got the right to find fault, my Lord. Only Guru and Yamaraj can do. Who am I? You are both Yama and Yogeshwara, Akila Guru, Bhagavan Namaste. You are the Guru of the whole world. As well as you are Yama. You are everything. You can do whatever you want. I am just a sadhu. He said this shloka and slipped away from the place.